Hello, hello. I hope you are having a fantastic day. We are going to continue talking about endometriosis today. Now, you heard me say just a few days ago that endometriosis is not just a hormonal problem. It's not just about estrogen. And I cannot tell you how many practitioners I have talked to over the years who say all you need to do to cure endometriosis is to reverse estrogen dominance. It's not that simple. But we also cannot ignore the role that estrogen plays in the condition. It plays a pretty big one, in fact, not so much in the development of endo, but in the aggravation of symptoms like the debilitating pain, the heavy periods, ovulatory pain, the nausea, the vomiting, otherwise feeling awful. So I want to talk about that today, okay? Because we can absolutely reduce your symptoms and manage the condition so you can stop succumbing to your cycle every month. And for some women, it can be as debilitating as taking them out for 2 weeks at a time every month, okay? Now, when it comes to estrogen, first of all, and I hope you know this from me by now, we make more than one type of estrogen, okay? We talk about it like it's a single hormone, but it's not. Doctors, for example, are really only concerned with estradiol, which is the most abundant primary estrogen during our reproductive years. But we also have to consider estrone and estriol. And not to mention, and this is going to be particularly important in endometriosis, we have to consider estrogen metabolites. And I'm going to show you a screen. I'm going to share my screen in just a second so you can visualize this, because I'm a very visual person. And sometimes it helps when you can actually see what this looks like. These estrogen metabolites, they're byproducts, if you will, that get created by your liver as it breaks down your primary estrogens. And it's these estrogen metabolites that are particularly problematic in endometriosis. I've spoken about them before. 4-OH estrone and 16-OH estrone. These are the two most problematic metabolites. And on the Dutch tests that I run with my clients who have endo, we almost always see too many of these estrogen metabolites being created. And the problem is they're proliferative. They cause endometrial tissue growth, which is not ideal with endometriosis. We don't want to be promoting the growth of endometrial lesions. Okay, that's problem number one. That's problem number one. And problem number two with these metabolites is that they have a stronger affinity for estrogen receptors, and they act much more forcefully than estradiol, particularly the 4-OH metabolite. And that's going to be really stimulatory to the cells, which is going to contribute to more painful endometriosis symptoms, particularly that pelvic pain. Or for many women, pain elsewhere, like their back, even radiating down their legs. It's also going to contribute to heavier periods, even things like breast pain and tenderness. This is so critical to understand so you can get a handle on your endometriosis symptoms without having to resort to hormonal birth control, which comes with a whole host of issues for your hormones, but I'm going to save that for another day. Now, the only way to know if you're producing too many of these metabolites is through Dutch testing. It is the gold standard in hormone testing that gives us a wealth of knowledge, so much further and beyond what you're going to get from your doctor's office on blood work. And I'm going to share my screen with you now so you can get that visual, see what it looks like. Now, of course, it's not letting me share my screen. Give me a second. There we go. This is estrogen metabolism on the Dutch test. So what you can see at the very top, we have what I call mother estrogens, and then these are the metabolites. So these guys get broken down in the liver into these metabolites, these estrogen metabolites, okay? Now, to be clear, these metabolites aren't just a problem for endometriosis, okay? The 4-OH metabolite, so this guy over here in particular, is carcinogenic. It's cancer promoting, even potentially DNA damaging, which means not only things like premature aging, but an increased risk for different types of cancers and autoimmunity. And this is why proper testing is absolutely essential, not just for endometriosis and periods, but for your overall health. both the short term and the long term. Now, the other thing that we have to be mindful of when it comes to estrogen is not only how your liver is breaking down estrogen, but also whether it's packaging it up and sending it onwards and out for elimination. This is phase 2 estrogen metabolism, and this is what's happening down here. So we can see it's trying to get estrogen out. If your liver is sluggish, if it's not functioning optimally, there's more likely to be a buildup of estrogen, which then oxidizes, stays in circulation, contributing to those endometriosis symptoms. And this is why it's not as straightforward as saying, just take DIM or calcium D-glucarate for endometriosis, okay? The treatment is going to be very unique to each individual woman based on how her physiology is currently performing, okay? Now, the Dutch test is such an important functional test to run to get really crystal clear on what's going on with your hormones and what treatment strategy will actually help you. And then working with a trained practitioner, you can get clarity on why these metabolites are elevated. So you can not only have answers from data using the right tests, but have a sustainable plan of action to manage your endometriosis for the long term. Right? If you are ready to get answers, put your health first, start supporting your endometriosis naturally and holistically, including having a Dutch test. My team and I would love to talk with you, and I would love to invite you to apply for a complimentary hormone assessment with me and my team so we can explore your health at a deeper level. Start piecing together a strategy that will get you the answers that you deserve, and share how we can help you implement that strategy in my program, the Hormone Harmony Method. You can find the link to apply for that complimentary hormone assessment in the caption, in the email below. And of course, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. In the meantime, enjoy your day and we'll chat soon. Bye for now.